This video is a training video intended for those who have become volunteer interviewers for the LGBT project in central Pennsylvania. This is your camcorder. At this point, the battery is already installed. The strap that you used if you were hand holding is along the bottom, but the most important thing on this side, little switch right there. That switch, if you push down, opens the lens of the camera. This is the front of the camcorder. At this point, the lens cap is open. I just opened it with that little switch. When you're finished doing things, you want to close it like that, and that protects the lens. This is the left side of your sound adapter. As you can see, there are two sockets, and those sockets are designed to accept XLR attachments. This is what will give us the better sound. This is the front of the sound adapter. It's labeled Beach Tech, which is the company that manufactures, and you can see a socket that says out. What that will be is the socket into which you will insert a mini plug in order to connect the adapter to the camcorder sound system. And we'll show you how to do that in a few minutes. This is the top of the sound adapter, and there are two screws. One is without threads and the other has threads. These will be fitted into the bottom of your camcorder so that the camcorder will sit like this and screw down onto the sound adapter. Here you see the camcorder attached to the sound adapter. The sound adapter has been tightened down to the camcorder with the screw on the bottom. As also you can see that these are the two sockets at the side where you will plug in your microphones. This is the tripod plate that you will attach to the sound adapter. This is the side that you will put against the sound adapter. This is the side that you will screw from. Notice on the right, there is a brass spring pin. That should go into the hole on the bottom of the sound adapter that is dark, and also the screw. And that will be the primary way you attach the plate. You will have to guide that, and it can be awkward at times. You'll have to guide that into the socket on the bottom of the sound adapter. This is the complete assembly that you will attach to the tripod using the tripod plate. This side is also the side that opens out to give you a screen for viewing. We'll look at the screen later, but right now I want you to take a look at the two sockets here on the interior of the camcorder. This one's for a mic in. This one is to attach your headphones. To attach the sound adapter to the camcorder sound system, you will need to place a mini plug in this mic receptacle. Push it in firmly because it won't work otherwise, and then to insert the other end into the out of the beach tick on the front. That now is ready to record the sound from microphones that will be attached to the adapter. Now we are looking at the complete assembly from the rear, and this is where you will see it when you are operating the camcorder. And the important sound controls are here on the rear. And off to the left you see the screen that you will use to monitor the recording. I want to go close up. Here we have the controls for the volume, for the sound adapter, as well as some settings that you need to be aware of. These two knobs adjust the volume, and you can do that by listening to what's coming in with the headphones. But generally speaking, just a bit above half is a good setting to start with, and in many cases it's just the final volume that you will use. There are two switches, one there and one there. Above the knobs, they select line or mic. Both should be set to mic. In the middle is a small switch that sets to mono or stereo. It should be set to stereo, S. And below that, a ground switch that has G1 and G2. The ground switch can be helpful if you're hearing a buzz from the equipment. Generally speaking, it will clear up if you switch the ground switch to the one that it's not on. In other words, it doesn't much matter whether it's G1 or G2, it just matters that you can switch it to the other if you're having problems. Moving up, you can see from the rear too, here is the Canon battery attached to the camcorder. And on the right, the switch that lets you roll finally. The camcorder, of course, is on, and it will come on usually automatically when you pull out that screen that you're going to use. When you pull out this screen from the side of the camcorder, it will turn on. Let's see if it's going to do that. Yep, so you see it comes up if you open it out. If, on the other hand, it does not come up when you pull it out from the camcorder, there is an off-on switch on this side of the camcorder right there that you need to push. Having said all that, we hope that you're going to be able to simply remove this entire assembly from its protective bag, attach the cord that connects the sound adapter to the camcorder itself, insert that, and then you'll be ready to mount onto the tripod. But you need to know all those steps in case you need to actually use them when you go to interview. For storage purposes, at the end of your interview, you need simply to detach this cord from the camcorder and close the screen. Then go to the other side of the camcorder and push this little switch that we looked at earlier up, and that puts in place the lens protector. Now the outfit is ready to simply put into its protective bag. We're looking again at the side of the camcorder and the controls that are underneath the video screen. I want you to see the on-off switch, which you use if, when you pull out the screen, it doesn't automatically turn on. You can see the battery here from the side. More importantly, this slot right here is where we put the media that we're using. And we're going to be recording on SDHC cards. There is a little cover to the slot where you insert the SDHC card. That has to be opened before you can mount the card. Now you see it open there. It goes in at a slight angle, and you have to push it in so that it's in tight, and then reclose that cover. One other receptacle that you need to see is on the right side of the camcorder, underneath and to the front of the strap that you can use if you're hand holding the camcorder. That switch right there, that socket, takes the charger, and you will charge the batteries by having them on the camcorder and inserting the adapter into that slot and into a wall receptacle. A word about the batteries. You should not have to change batteries for one of your interviews if you have it fully charged when you go. The same is true of the SDHC cards. You should not have to change those because they should be sufficiently long for any single interview that you're doing. In fact, if you find yourself going beyond that, you're probably interviewing for too long, and you ought at least to take a break, if not stop for that particular session. When people have a lot to say, you can always go back for a second interview. There are several people that we already have slated for second interviews. They are people who've been very active in the movement, and their testimony is very important. So we will go back for a second go. And this is your entire assembly, which sits on top of the tripod legs. Here you see the camcorder, the sound adapter, the plate, and the head of the tripod. And ready to go. You can see your green light there up on the right. All you need to do to start rolling is to push that red button. And here is the assembly with the adapter hooked up to the camcorder and with the earphones that you will use to listen plugged into the appropriate socket. All you need now is to put your microphones together. And here with the microphone jacks in place. And this is one of the microphones you'll be using. On the left you see a small box. That is in fact the container for the power supply for the microphone. And on the right is a tiny microphone with a clip that you use to attach the microphone to the interviewer and to the narrator. Here you see the top of the microphone box with its socket for the XLR cord. So the XLR cord will go from the camcorder to this small power supply block, and then through that to the microphone. This is the side of the power supply. On the left, where it says push, is the opener where you can, if necessary, open the box to replace the battery if it has died. On the right is a switch that allows you to turn the microphone on. And you can turn it on in two positions. The first position is a straight line. The second position is a curved line, and that's the position you want it to be in. You want it to go clear on. That curved line indicates that the microphone itself will suppress low-level noise. So that's it. That's your setup. Now you're ready to go. As I've said perhaps before, but I repeat, we urge you to operate in pairs so that one person can handle the camcorder and keeping everything going well there, and the other person can focus on interviewing the narrator. Have a good time when you do this. It really is fun.